Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Great Expectations. I'm here with just Sarah today.
It's just Sarah.
Yeah, no little man. He's just taking a quick leave of absence.
She's taking a holiday, vacation day.
Right. So I asked Sarah to fill in today, and thank you for doing that on such short notice, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gosh, there's so much to talk about. We missed last week, and we don't
Mhm.
apologize because things like that happen. But the raid is here, and last time you were saying you mentioned so our last episode we had Ando on. We were
Mhm.
talking about what we expect from the raid. Now we've had like a full 2 weeks kind of to I don't know experience it, and
Yeah.
gosh, there's just it's been a whole whirlwind.
I know. We've had like the raid, we've had uh hot fixes come in for, problems in the raid and an economy change. They're changing the icons for the Mark III currency, which is
I need
great.
economy change and economy change.
Frick. So many changes. Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so there's tons. Do we want to just talk about it?
I think so. Yeah. What else are we talking about today, though?
You've got a great trigger photo related to the raid, so that's fantabulous. Uh,
You know what isn't fantabulous?
what?
The word
I know.
fantabulous.
I should have known you were going to say that.
It's
So rude.
it's borderline unfantabulous,
Says you.
and everyone else.
Uh, but we're gonna review a character kind of related to the raid, like raid adjacent, sort of, maybe.
Right adjacent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean, not like a prominent character in the raid, but you could use them in the raid.
oh yeah. I use them in the raid, so you guys will have to hold on tightly for that'll be in the dessert portion of this broadcast over on Sarah's channel, which is found. The link is found in the video description. And if you just watch the whole thing, then you could just click the button at the end, and it'll
Hmm.
just take you straight there instead of having to go all the way into the stupid video description and click the link. So
And then you get to watch the whole show.
yeah, the whole thing.
And then fewer questions, a pack review, which I am kind of annoyed that I'm seeing this pack, by the way, but we'll get into that, and a roster roast.
Those packs are fantabulous, man.
I hate you. Okay. So raid thoughts.
Oh, jeez. It's gonna get real old real quick. Is what
Yes.
my first thought. Like, so right now, it still has the benefit of being novel, and so if I have a miscue and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine, I didn't get the right score that I needed. Fine, I'll redo it. It's not super old. I'm not like I hate life so freaking much right now. I'm like, okay, well, this is moderately annoying, but whatever. I'll just
Mhm.
redo it. In a year, if the raid is still going, which I'm guessing this will still be the same raid in a year, we'll probably have news of like a new raid coming. I hope at that point, but
Right.
if it's still going though, it's like run number 111 for me or something,
Hmm.
and I just can't make my Maldalorians get their 1800 or 1.8 million. Sorry,
Hmm.
I, I I will be just the most annoyed. Is all.
Well, and like I agree. Because if you're in a guild that is maxing tickets, uh, you're gonna be doing this every 3 days, which is
Without stop. Like there's not a
yeah,
single break.
yeah. Like you just the raid ends, a new one launches. The raid ends, a new one launches, and
Yeah, there's an
Um,
auto launch feature. It just like, hey, raid's over, launch a new one.
right. And like, so I was doing, and granted, they're not part of the reason why this was happening is because my Maul Mandalorian team is not at the proper relic level. So I was doing the relic 5 tier. So they're not hitting hard enough, but I was having to
Right.
redo the run over and over and over and over and like just trying to get to like that optimal score, like swapped mods, did all that
It's
fun
horrible,
stuff.
isn't it?
Yeah, and like it got to the point where I was literally like, you know what? Close enough. Submit. Done.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It's for your own sanity. Especially so. I mean, we should talk about the strategy of like what you should mod, or not mod. Sorry, I mean, you should have the right mods, but you should also have you should have the right relics on them, like the optimal
Hmm.
relics, which is, I mean, I'm sure that CG did plan this, but like it is so if you take a relic 7 mall team, that like
Yeah.
the good one, the one that you would normally do like the tier 5 for, like the relic 7 tier,
Hmm.
easily ish get a 1.8 million. If you take that same squad and
Hmm.
try to do the tier below it, it is really difficult to get the 1.2. Like
Right.
it's not proportional because the mechanics on that higher tier make it so much better.
Right. You're getting a bonus.
Yeah, well, yeah, you take less damage and you're doing more damage, and it's not even close. Like the difference is astounding. It's crazy to me, but I mean I guess that's the price of entry though, because
Hmm.
now people are like, well, I never saw much reason to get Bo-Katan above Relic 5. Like she's a requirement character. She's useful in places, but like she's useful in ways that don't really need relics. It's like, yeah, she's survivable enough.
Hmm.
Yeah, she doesn't really care about her damage, and you see you put relics on her, and it's like, why? She's not doing more damage. She's not that much more survivable. There's like no reason. So like every person has to put Relic 7 on Bo-Katan.
Hmm.
And then same with the armor. Armor's like, well, like Relic 5's been enough. Like it's fine.
Right. So, and like this is actually interesting to me at least because for over 2 years, basically since Conquest was introduced, CG's been like broaden your roster, wide rosters will be rewarded, like all of this kind of stuff, and they've been drilling it out there over and over and over again. And I think for a long time, the majority of the player base took the context of that to be like fill in the gaps of your roster, like fill in those teams, right? Like if you don't have your troopers done, do your troopers. If you don't have this, do that. If you don't have all the GLs, get all the GLs. And then you've had the relic requirements of like challenge pit. And if you want to use your data crons, you need to have relic 7. And then the new territory battle has the relic requirements for each phase, like all that happening. And now we're having not necessarily relic requirements for the tiers. I mean, yes, but you will be rewarded if you go to like relic 7 Tuscans do that's where Tuscans start to perform well in the raid is Relic 7 because you start to get the bonus mechanics kicking in. Um, and you will be rewarded now for having relics. So it's kind of like now not only are you broadening your roster in terms of having the teams and having the GLs and the characters unlocked, but you're also kind of like thickening it in a way because you also need the relic levels.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very interesting. Yeah, like you just want Relic 7 on everything. Tuscans though, like Tuscans are man, they're the one that I'm like, man, can you? I don't think you can start. Like, I don't think you could build like your roster around Tuscans, but it's 5 characters, and if you get those 5 characters to Relic 7, which isn't that impossible for most rosters, frankly, then suddenly, if your whole guild, if everyone in your guild gets Relic 7 Tuscans, which I
Mhm.
know that that's a big ask, that's a very difficult thing to coordinate and to mandate, and they're like, hey, what else am I going to use them for? It's just the raid. But if you can do that, your whole guild is going to have the 130 bucks just for like that. Well, hold on. So your whole guild will get the is it the 130? Maybe it's the 90 bucks to Relic 7. If you get them all to Relic 8, then everyone gets the 130 bucks.
Right. And
And then
then
and then if you get Hut Cartel
mhm.
on top of that, then your whole guild gets the 256. Like you could conceivably, if your guild was, if you could trust everyone in the guild to do it, you could do 2 runs every raid, and that's it. Just Relic 8 Tuscans, Relic 8 Hut Cartel, call it good.
Right. And then you're set.
Yep, just do that every 3 days. Like that. That's not bad, really.
Right. Like if that's what it was, that would be significantly less like time investment and irritation.
Yeah, I'm working on a video for Tuscans. It's just taking a while because they're all Relic 5 for me.
Right. So you need to bring them up.
Right. Well, and the need for Tuscans is a little less because the majority of people don't even have Tuscans fully reliced yet. Like that, not a,
Yeah.
like they don't have which one needs to be farmed. I always forget Tuscan, like the chieftain
It's
or
the
the
chieftain,
warrior.
yeah.
One of them's in the cantina, and everyone has it. But once that team is available, the thing is, everyone who does have Tuscans, a lot of them are just like Relic 5, like me, and Relic 5 doesn't do crap. They do like 400,000 is
Right.
all, like if you could get to that 600k plateau or something, you're like, oh, thank goodness, that was good. That was a great run. And then once you hit 1.8, once you get everyone to Relic 7,
Hmm.
it's on. But it's like, how do you mandate everyone just get Tuscans? But they're way easier to get 5 Tuscans than to go out and get, for instance, like Jabba unlocked.
Hmm.
That's a whole proposition. That's a whole endeavor, you know?
Hmm. Well, also, and I feel like it's a really interesting dynamic too, because if you're in a guild that, say is semi-casual or whatever the case may be. Say you have a lot of guildmates that don't necessarily watch a lot of content creators or whatever. If
Terrible.
if you yes, but also if if you are if you have guildmates that are like, why would they're basically going to be like, why would I work on my Tuscans when they're crap at the lower tiers, right? Like you're kind of not seeing the potential of what they can do until you've already put that investment in them. So,
Right. Right. Like, it's really difficult to see that Tuscans are actually, in fact, fantabulous.
right, exactly.
So, yeah, it is, though. It's non-intuitive, counterintuitive, and okay, so let me ask you this.
Hmm.
You're not the average player because you like the, I don't know, you're more into the game, obviously. Like you're good with a lot of mechanics. Like, you, when it came for the Riva mission,
Hmm.
I expected this was from you, so don't take this as surprise. But like, so you were really good at the cam mission. Like, you guided the guild to glory. We got the cam shards. Wonderful, good job. I really, that was the first time I was like, oh, I don't even know her, but I heard about how good you were with the cam mission. And so when the Riva mission came out, you dived right into those mechanics discussions and really talked about how you could beat Riva, against or unlock Riva with Inquisitors against Jawas, and it was really cool. How much time and effort have you put into figuring out the raid mechanics?
Not nearly as much. I will say, like I put the time and effort into that of like figuring out um like you obviously you can't land debuffs on him, but you want debuffs because you need to get rid of defiance and like a lot of people you need to time when you're using the whatever harpoon ability. I don't even know what they're called, which like shocker, I don't know ability names. Um
I like harpoon. That's fun.
the harpoon thing.
I
But
want to. It's a ballista, and I always want to say bastila.
yeah, actually, I've been reading it, and in my head, I've been like reading it Bastila. But yes, okay. So
Fire the bastila.
so the ballista harpoon thing, um, and I know like you would want a non-attacker to use it, ideally, um,
Hmm.
but yeah, in terms of figuring out like team comps, I'm like, I'll do what people say is best.
Well, I mean, and that's how we have to live our lives, right? I mean, I've said it before of like the best skill or whatever quality someone could have is in this day and age is discretion because you can't know everything. You have to
Mhm.
know who to trust and who to, who you can listen to actually lead you, uh, to get you wins, whatever, to help you along the way, which is, you know, like some of the guides that I've watched, I'm like, okay, that was pretty well done. Some of them, I'm like, geez, man, this is actually kind of garbage.
I
You know,
believe it.
I'm like, all right, there's like a few of them floating around that I'm like, man, do I dare just try to make a better guide than that? And the answer is yes, I'm going to. Just because some people they're like, I don't like so and so for some reason. I'd rather just watch one by UX, even if it's not as good. But it's like, yeah, the guides, man, it's an important thing
Hmm.
to be able to listen to. So it's just going to take a while for people to get to the relic levels that they need to. But okay, so how close? So we're in like what the sixth best guild in the whole game according to the raid.
Yeah, I don't know if that was updated after this. I can check after the
last last week that was what we were going to do until we didn't record.
yeah. Oh no, we're still
We
in
were going to tell
sixth.
people, yeah, sixth. Even though we're no longer getting the 265 crate,
Right.
correct?
Yes, because they have fixed so like full discretion, we got that because there was the bug where your roster would refresh if you did not attack for 48 hours, did not submit a score. So the idea was you would go in as soon as it launched, put in 5 scores, and then wait 48 hours, and your roster would have refreshed. And you could do that
Right.
again.
And
And
we're just in a guild full of opportunists, so
yeah, absolutely. So as soon as we realized that was the case, we're like, let's do it. Um,
yeah.
That is not the case anymore. But that being said, we are pretty actually significantly closer to the 265 bucks than I thought we would be. This last raid that we did, we ended at 229, I believe. 229 or 230.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so I'll have to for Professor X. I mean, I've been really trying to save up stuff to be ready for Leviathan when it
Hmm.
comes out. But yeah, as soon as I can, I'm gonna get my Maldalorian team to that. Like, because right now it's just getting like half of the score that it could get.
Right.
Um, and honestly, my HUD cartel isn't that far away either. Really, like,
What's your cartel at? I should know this.
well, I don't know. I know that you've run it a couple times, so easily
Oh
at the
yeah.
Relic 5 level. But then I already have Boosh at 8 and Chrysanthemum at 9. So I need to get
Hmm.
Jabba to 8, and then Scando to 8, I guess, if I want to get the full score. But I mean, really, guys, it's not that difficult. Like, you want Jabba to have high relics anyways. I've been screaming that from the top of my lungs for other reasons. So like it's just like double dipping or triple dipping. Like, he is the most famous, important character by a mile
Hmm.
in this game right now. Jabba, if you don't have him, start making plans for him. Like,
Well,
he is crazy important. He's more important, like more famous than the Beatles in this game.
well, and honestly, it hurts a little bit less with Jabba because at least you know you're using him in like he's got that mod event thing that comes around basically every 2 weeks at this point. Um, and
Which
then
event?
that mod, whatever, Smuggler's Run thing.
Oh, yeah. I think it averages every 10 days. Actually, is
Okay,
what I
so
think.
Okay, so what, like 3 times a month, let's say, give or
Yeah,
take?
which is great. So I think there was one month recently where I think that they just roll a dice or something. But yeah,
And
like I
like
think there
where
was
it
one month
lands on
where
the calendar.
no, I mean I think that they just well they used to do it for the credit heist as well. Maybe they
Hmm.
still do, but like it's just totally random. It's just like within a range of like 1 to 2 weeks or something. But yeah,
Hmm.
like there was a month where we had it like 4 or 5 times. It's pretty awesome. But no, like that the Smuggler Run 2 is an amazing like on its own, it's almost worth just getting Jabba just for that. But then he is he is a transcendent galactic legend in Territory Wars and GAC.
Hmm.
And you can put him on full auto on at least the first four tiers of the territory battle.
Yeah. And he has a mission in every tier of the territory battle, so you need him
Right.
anyway.
Oh yeah, he's specifically required for those. Like
Hmm.
right now for current things, like there is, and he's also amazing in the conquest because there's so
Yeah.
many of them that are like, hey, don't use any Jedi things like people who use for the Force, and Jabba's like, Force powers don't work on me. I'm good to go. And
Hmm.
he is like I use him for all of those required. Like he gets you a ton of like little mini feats. So
He's also great if you don't need any attackers in your team, like win with no attackers, and you just roll through with tanks and supports throwing bombs.
yeah, that sounds a little violent, but no, it's no, but he is the most awesome character right now. You know, I don't know. We've said it before. We don't really need to preach it more. I'm sure the people watching this know, but yeah, he is crazy worth it. And then his like core characters, like him, Boosh, and Chrysanthemum, at least those
Hmm.
three, you can confidently take to Relic 8, and you know what they're going to be worthwhile.
Right. So you might as well just take the whole squad.
Right. So get Scando because he is also great, and then you already have Boba at Relic 8 because of what, Executor or Profundity, one of the two.
I think it was Executor.
Or maybe it was some other, but one way or another, he's Relic 8 on every roster that has all the fleets, and all the GLs, whatever. He's a Relic 8 requirement. So, and that's all you need. Like, so everyone should be able to get a 2.7
Hmm. And then you
eventually.
just add your other squads for extra damage.
Yeah, so if you don't want to get Tuscans, which I could understand why people wouldn't want to get Relic 8 or even Relic 7 Tuscans, you could also get, like, Old Republic is good for
Hmm.
right around 1 million.
Right.
And then if you can get your Mandalorians up to Relic 7, which Maul should be at Relic 7 anyways, because he is a total badass. And then, so you get him to 7. And then Canderous, a lot of people had him for the Kron, but one way or another, like if you had Maul, then you generally typically going to be have already worked on Canderous some. Bo-Katan just needs a couple relic levels. Armor needs a couple relic levels, and then oh yeah, Bam is already. I guess he's not required at high relics anywhere, but again, he's central to Executor's success.
Right. So
So
most
you're
people have him.
at 7 already. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So and then you get a pretty. It's not guaranteed 1.8, but it's like yeah you. Like I have a video out that shows like this is how you do it. Like you just make your armor fast and you go and you're good to
Hmm.
go. Like it's yeah, and then you there you go. Like there, if you don't want Tuscans, then you just do Revan and armor, or sorry, Revan and Maul, and then the Hut cartel, and you're good. You got your 5 point whatever for your guild to be able to get to that 265.
Yeah. Which is fantastic. And then you're laughing.
Right. Well, so what do you think? Is is the great guild redistribution about to occur? Are all the guilds like well, because every
So,
guild's got people that they're like, you know what, we don't want you. Like, you're not going to contribute.
so this is the thing is like these types of events when they come out always end up shaking up some guilds. Um, I think what is more so going to happen is I think we'll see a lot of people, a lot more people, like you said, of if they're not living up to what their guild needs, getting cut. Um, Whereas before we saw a lot of people would guild hop, like if they wanted like bigger, better rewards. Now, because you have to be in the guild for 48 hours before you can participate in a raid, I feel like people are going to be way more choosy about not only when they choose to switch guilds, but if they choose to switch guilds, because you're
Yeah, well,
essentially
because
losing out on a raid.
right. I mean, and that is painful. I mean, you might not have a choice though, and
No,
honestly, like right now, I mean, I just made a video about it. We don't need to discuss it too much. Like right now, the emphasis in the game is all on PVE. Like
right.
especially the raid. Like I think that if you want to maximize everything, you work on your raid stuff. You get to your 5.4 or whatever you need to get. And then start working on like the new Cal squad, the Callan gang. Like
Hmm.
if you can get all those squads up and running and good to go, and your whole guild does, like you're all just gonna be rich. You're gonna have all like one of the main bottlenecks in the game right now is Chirotech. And
Right.
if you can just get a bunch of GET2, that solves the Chirotech bottleneck.
Right. Like if you can, and this is the thing, like if you get to the point of getting that 265 box, like the faster you get there, basically, then you just take those rewards and instead of putting them into teams for the raid, because you're already at that point now, you just start throwing all of that into your other squads. Because I've already noticed just from 2 weeks worth of the raids so far. So that's what, 4 raids that we've done. We're on our fifth right now, something like that. Um, I've already noticed a significant improvement in how fast I was able to move characters from Relic 5 to Relic 7.
Nice. Oh yeah, well, because you have a shop that you can get the pieces that you need.
Yeah, like I was pumping them out pretty much 1 to 2 relic levels on a character between 5 and 7 specifically, um, after every raid.
So the new by far the new biggest bottleneck, which it already was, but if you're not doing 3 refreshes in Cantina, you gotta do it. That is
Yes.
absolutely essential. The signal data will totally bring you down. Like there's no place to get it other than Cantina, or honestly, like now use your conquest currency to
Hmm.
buy energy or to buy signal data. Like that is going to be huge. People are going to be spending crystals to get it because signal data was not actually something that is addressed in the slightest from this raid, which is fine, I guess. I just like that's one of our bottlenecks. That and omicrons and zetas
Hmm.
even. So suddenly I guess you can kind of get zetas, but it's a terrible deal.
Yes. Yeah, that signal data like it's going so quickly now.
Yeah. Yeah, signal data is, in my opinion, like if you weren't doing 3 refreshes, guys, do 3 refreshes every day. Make that a priority. Like that needs to be the number one use of crystals.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're about out of time on this one. Let's go just do the trigger photo, and then we'll go over to have some dessert.
Chocolate cake.
Sounds good. All right, so I'm fairly sure this is just staged. Actually, I'm pretty sure this person can nudge themselves over to the next reward, but you can see that they are just short. What 713
Ugh.
away
But like,
from
what if they're literally like at that point where it's all like all of your characters have been defeated?
right. Well, or they've used their 5 attempts. Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah. You know what I'm a little triggered about is that I don't. No, I mean I can tell, but I'm gonna pretend like I can't tell if that's Mark One or Mark Three.
Soon we'll be able to.
Yay! I like the fix. It looks way better. Why didn't they just do it?
Totally.
That I think they already had it available. They just decided to use this one. So that to me, that's more triggering than anything. All right,
All
guys.
right.
Go over to Sarah's channel. We'll see you shortly. Go video description or click the thing that's down below, please. Sounds dirty.